Hey there, how are you? I hope you had an amazing day, that you're doing well. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down and chat with me about what's been going on with my Lorac Pro 2. I know it's been a while. I've been able to finish some shades, but I'm going to be very candid with you right now that it's been a weird year. It's been a very I've realized a lot about myself, not in a bit, I don't want to stop paying that palette, but I feel like I need to evolve things right now to really keep myself motivated to shop my stash and whatnot. So let me just show you where I was, because there has been quite a bit finished. So what's going on with the palette right now? It doesn't seem like there's a lot, but to be just as weird as this sounds, even though there isn't a lot, it has been so incredibly difficult to be motivated to finish what's left. I was able to go through and finish charcoal, cool gray, and the silver shade. I wore those all combined together in one look. In fact, I still owe you a get ready with me on that, but that can be coming because I still have dupes for those shades within my collection. So no worries there. So I'm very happy and just satisfied that I was able to finish those shadows on my own. But then I started kind of hitting a little bit of a wall that made me reflect back on last year with Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette. And let's kind of go on in and talk about that. The first shade was with Navy, and Navy had gotten to a point where it had expired, and I had to get rid of it, and I made these Franken shadows over here, but I think I'm gonna have to go on and ditch at least this one right here, because this is a mixture of Navy with ColourPop's Glass Bowl. And like I said, Navy flat out expired on me. I wore it as a liner, and literally like within seconds of me putting it onto my lower lash line, my eyelids got red and itchy and inflamed. And after going through that with Kat Von D last year, I didn't even want to bother with it. And so I took out the shades. So all I have left is Plum, which has been okay. I'm keeping a very close watch on that shadow, because blues and purples tend to be really problematic when they expire. It's one of the most irritating of shadows. That and red shadows can be quite irritating. It's just something about the ingredients in them when they go off. It's very, very clear in terms of giving yourself eye infections. But I just... Nectar was another shade that I was just completely apathetic about. It was old enough that it had lost a lot of its pigmentation. I do like what I have done with it. I've combined it with the Roxy shade from the, or not Roxy, peanut butter shade. I want to correct myself, because the last time I talked about this, in the Single Ladies of My Man Matte, I called this salted caramel from the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar. It's not. It's peanut butter. It's peanut butter mixed with nectar. And I do like that combination together. But I have to tell you, it has been so, like, every time I would open up this palette, I'm like, oh, my word, that shade is in there. I just wasn't feeling it. But at the same time, I didn't want to not finish it if I could. I don't know, like, just for within myself, it's not any external thing going on of pressure. It's just what I'm feeling within myself. And I was also kind of feeling that way about Mocha. But one of the things that I've learned through painting so many palettes is I just need to find a combination that I really love. And I haven't hit that balance with the Mocha shade yet. I've hit the balance with Nectar by Franken shadowing it with the peanut butter shade, because I really like it. I'm actually wearing it as a transition shade in my crease with this bronze eye look, and I really love it. But I kind of need to find that balance with Mocha. And so kind of just being blunt about where I am. I think it's because I've been in such a weird place after panning Mi Vida Loca Remix. I enjoyed a lot of aspects of panning that palette. I really branched out of my comfort zone in terms of wearing a lot of colorful shades, in terms of putting different combinations together, and I'm so appreciative for that experience. But I also walked away from that year without the closure that I wanted from Pan That Palette, because it wasn't my decision to put the palette to rest. It kind of was when I was going back and forth when all of the controversy was going on with her putting her opinions out on social media. But when I decided to pick the palette back up again, literally, you know, within a month or two, I don't even remember when all that stuff went on, but by the end of Thanksgiving, I had to stop using the palette because it was going bad on me. I mean, I was giving myself the start of pink eye. And, you know, my eyesight is not worth it to hold on to eyeshadow. And so, like, ever since then, I just felt like it wasn't my call to be like, I'm bored, I'm ready to move on, let me put the palette aside. I didn't get the satisfaction of finishing it, and I didn't expect to finish it. But still, there is something cathartic about being able to get completely through an eyeshadow palette and just walking away knowing what you know. And I guess this is going to sound so ridiculous, but I didn't get the closure. You know, with the shadows going bad and on me, you know, and all that. And then going into this year, it's been a really weird headspace because I started with this palette. I mean, huge chunks of it were already done because I've been steadily working on it. And so I don't know, I feel like I guess in a way kind of lost my rhythm a little bit, because I mean, you would think with just this amount of shadow left, like this would not be too terribly challenging to finish. And if I had a full palette, I could have easily finished, you know, 2 shades at this point, since these are not original to the palette over here. But I don't know, there's just something about it this year that I'm kind of like, it's just not feeling that closure. And it's been kind of weird because I honestly want to put a lot of focus onto my Z palette and this bronze look, because the other thing that I kind of realized, just I didn't realize it till now, but I felt very stifled with like my lip products, because like painting colorful eyeshadow last year, the looks that I created were quite neutral and wearable for every day, and that's fine. But I realized I really got myself pigeonholed with my lipstick into wearing nudes and my lips but better, and that's fine. But I felt very pigeonholed because my take on it is when I get up and I'm taking my kids to school at 8:30 in the morning, I felt like it was a little bit too extra to be wearing like black eyeshadow in my outer corner and then rock a red lip. I mean, it's just, I don't know, like it felt really over the top for me. And so this year, kind of stepping back into very neutral shadow with what's going on in my Z palette, I feel like there's a balance in some ways, because now I'm consistently going back to painting eyeshadow, and it made me really reevaluate kind of what I want out of my lipstick game. But at the same time, it was just like, I feel like I'm doing much more reflecting now than I did when I did the finale video, because it was just, I didn't get to close out pan that palette the way that I wanted to, if that makes sense at all. So, I'm putting it out there, kind of moving forward. I do not want to stop pan that palette, because this challenge is absolutely fabulous for me. It's really getting me to evaluate my entire makeup collection, what I want from my makeup collection, what I learn. I mean, I've talked about this before, but lessons I've learned from pan that palette, and I still, like, no matter how many palettes I pan, I still continue to learn stuff. Every single palette, I learn more and more and more towards moving into my ideal makeup collection. And so, again, this is another kind of weird thing, because usually at this point every year I kind of have an idea of what I want to pan for the next year, and I kind of, you know, mentally prep myself, you know, for that challenge. And this year I'm kind of like, I don't know what to do. You know, part of me kind of wants to pan the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette just to see if I could do it, but at the same time I'm like, do I want to promote her on my channel? I don't know. You know, it's just like, do I want to promote her name? I don't know. And then part of me kind of wants to go for a MAC palette. You know, I've got some MAC shadows I'd like to pan out. And part of me wants to go for panning some smaller, you know, quads and other palettes out. Or maybe even do an entire drugstore pan that palette for next year, because Milani shadows are absolutely incredible, and that could be a thing. So, I don't know. Comment below what you'd kind of like to see from me, or if you'd want to vote on a palette, perhaps. I'm open to that idea as well, because I really just, I don't know. I'm feeling just very weird, but I don't want to stop doing this challenge. I want to keep on and continue moving out more makeup. I'm very motivated. I talked about that with Single Ladies and my man Matt, that I'm just feeling that desire to physically move out some eyeshadow. And so I will be doing something moving forward. I'm just not sure what that's going to be yet. So I'm really curious to hear your opinions. So it is what it is. That's my truth. And you know, I guess I hope that it makes you feel comfortable and confident that we all hit stumbling blocks. I hit stumbling blocks with every palette. I know every one of your palettes has caused some angst and boredom and all that stuff along the way, because it's part of the process. It's where we learn, where we grow. And like I said, I'm happy to have found a little bit of a balance. I love the shade now that I've mixed Nectar with Peanut Butter, so I'm confident that I'm going to finish that shade out, and I'm confident that I'm going to finish this, you know, Roxy shade out, and I'm confident that I'll finish Mocha even, because it's a shadow that's going to present a challenge, and I love the challenge, and I've got to, you know, give it time and figure something out. And Plum, that's been a pretty easy shade to wear on my lower lash line. I don't think I'm going to be wearing it in my crease at all, because the shadow is severely lacking in pigmentation because it's older, and again, like after Navy like flat out expired on me, I'm pretty hesitant. Kind of keeping an eye on that one going forward, pun intended. So that about wraps it up. I really, like I said, I really appreciate you sitting down with me and, you know, just for hearing me out, for being supportive, and for just being there for me when I need it. So until next time, take care. And I look forward to catching up with you real soon. In fact, next video is going to be lessons I've learned from Project Pan. And so hopefully that will be of a great resource to you as you are going through your journey of rediscovering your makeup. So until then, take care, and I'll see you later.